Hello and welcome to another one of my video tutorials. Today again I'm using the Truly Tailored stamp set and punch and the True Gentleman Designer Series paper. So we're doing some cards today and I just thought I'd like to share them with you. So these two I'm just showing you. We're not actually going to make them today. So this one is just you're hoping your birthday's as grand as you. And what I've done here is I've coloured the stamp with the Tranquil Tide Stampin' Right marker, and the grand I've coloured in Fresh Fig. And these are just punched out of scraps using the Tailored Tag punch. So that's how I've done that, and I'll show you how to do this knot, which I think works better than a bow. And sadly my buttons are still in transit somewhere, so I'll add some buttons and put them up on my blog when they're totally finished. And the inside in the envelope I've just done with the bow tie, and I've done that for all of them. So that's one that I'm just showing you today. And then this is the other one where I've just cut a strip across, banner cut it with the triple banner punch either side, added some linen thread underneath and here, and put the sentiment on in the center of the banner. And the banner is adhered with Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'll tell you what to do if you have any stray bits of linen thread as well as we go through. And again, the inside and the envelope are just the same. So they're two that I just thought I'd bring and show you of ways you can use the True Gentleman Designer Series paper and get it to stretch a little bit further or use up your scraps. And these will all be available in my online store from the Occasions catalogue. All right, now these are the cards we're going to do today. And again, I need to add a couple of buttons here and there, but I've used the stitch shaped framelit dies and the layering circle dies and the layering square dies. And this one I've just cut a rectangle, put some linen thread behind it. And I actually cut out one, you could stamp one of the bow ties, but I had a little strip of Designer Series paper left over and it had these bow ties in it, so I cut them out. And then these two are similar again. So these two use Wishing You a Dapper Day. And it's just different ways of using the same stamp. And here I've just die cut a frame. And so they go together quite quickly. So those two use Wishing You a Dapper Day without the punch, because that sentiment's a little large. These two use one of the sentiments and the punch, and I'll show you how I got that border. And they're quite quick and easy as well. So they're the cards we're going to make today. And I've got the insert and the envelopes already stamped. So this one that we're going to do is this card. So we'll get started and make that. I've already cut the pieces and I'll put all the measurements on my blog for you. But I just wanted to show you how quickly these can go together. So if you needed to do a whole lot at one time, you could. Just realise the stripes were going the wrong way if I used this side. So a bit of liquid adhesive. Now I use liquid adhesive because it gives me wriggle room. And if you're like me and you don't stick things on very straight, like this one isn't, or centered, it just gives you that little bit of time. It's also quite quick drying and it's permanent. You're not going to worry about it coming off, all right, in a hurry. And then the other piece is this, and I've just cut that out of a scrap and laid it up on some Night of Navy. So we'll just go ahead and adhere that. And if you have all your pieces cut, die cut already, the cards come together quite quickly. So if you had a whole stack of cards to do, what I do is cut all the pieces out and then have a day of just putting them all together, or use an hour here or there to cut the pieces out, and then the next day use another hour to put them together. So we're just going to adhere that across there. We might move that to the left a little. Here's the sentiment, and I've cut around there, and I've got another one that will do, and I'll show you what I did. I've just punched out the tag from both of them. Just adhere that with liquid glue. Alright, now I find if you line the 2 points up, this point and this point, you'll get it about right. That's right. Now, okay, so the tie that I've just used snips and cut that out, and then I'm just going to take the backing off that, and I might put that one up here. What I did was, with the linen thread, I put dimensionals on my sentiment piece first, and then I went through and added, there we go, I did add 4 dimensionals, and it's because we're going to add the linen thread to the back of this before we stick it all down. So, and then I'm just going to get some linen thread, and what I do is I just wrap it around 4 fingers 2, 3 times. And yes, this is Stampin' Up linen thread. I just off the card that it comes on and stick it on a roll. Okay, and then I just sort of really plonk all this down. I try and get the ends to be stuck somewhere. To arrange this like however you want. A bit random, that bit up there. Put this one on here. And add that to our card to the right, and our card's almost done. I just need to add that to the front of the card, and we've finished one card already. Just a thin line of liquid glue is enough to stick it to the front of your card. Alright, 1 down, 3 to go. The next one we're going to do is this one here. And I'll show you how I did this piece here. And we're just going to stick these pieces together. So, making these cards, you'll have seen, I think, almost all of the designer series paper. Just gorgeous for masculine type cards. And they don't have to be adults. They can be kids, teenagers as well. So, they're just great for masculine cards for any age. And this going on, I won't put stripes on checks, that'd be a bit much, wouldn't it? And all I've done really is use liquid glue, apart from the sentiments, on nearly everything. Alright, then we just need to glue that on. And these cards really are quite quick to make. Great way of using up pieces of your designer series paper too. Alright, now with the linen thread, all I do here is I just hold it on the back and wind it round. So, 1 direction, 2 directions, 3, and then I come in and sort of straighten it up. Just cut off the back, and if I'd been organised I would have had a piece of tear and tape out already, and that's how I adhere it to the back, just with our Stampin' Up tear and tape. So I just adhere the end so I can come back in and fiddle, and then I can tighten it up at the back. Just lift the tear and tape if you don't stick it down that well. If I just pull, so there's our linen thread sort of on. And then we've got our sentiment. Now with our sentiment, I just came in with our snips. So I've stabbed the sentiment and punched it out with the tailored tag punch. And then I've just come in, and they're just straight lines. You could even use a trimmer and just cut them off. And I always leave a little space around the edge, so that if you go a bit wobbly, it doesn't really matter. You're not cutting the edge of your ink. People won't notice. And that's how I got the smaller tag for the front of the other card as well as this card. Put some glue on the back of this Stick it on and match up the points. A couple of dimensionals on the back, and we're done. Make sure you use up all the dimensionals on your sheet. Now these side pieces have a few uses. You can cut them as I have, so you've got half a dimensional, or you can use the strip to go along the back of a long sentiment. So make sure you use it all up. Don't forget, you can buy all these things in my online store, and if you need some extra money for your family and you think you like the look of doing this, you don't have to do demonstrations or workshops or anything. You can just simply get your friends to help you meet your quarterly minimum, which is about $465 Australian every 3 months. But you've got 7 months, I think, before you need to make your quarterly minimums. You can join my team, and during celebration you get to choose an extra 2 stamp sets to go in your kit. And if you were me, I'd choose the 2 most expensive, so that gives you up to about $400 in your kit. Alright, so there are our next 2 cards. 2 down, 2 to go. So we're going gangbusters here this morning. The next card is this card, and it needs something. So I'm going to show you how I do this knot. So I just cut off a length of linen thread. So I've got about just over 12 inches, so about 32 centimeters, folded in half and then folded in half again. That's probably a bit much. Go to the loopy end, wrap it around your finger, push it through the hole your finger makes, and there you've got your knot. Then you're just going to come in and neaten up the ends and attach it with a glue dot. So take it to the glue dot. Now I like to have this sort of flat end showing, so just pop it on your glue dot, and I'll make another one in a minute, and pop it on your card. Might stick that one there. So that's how you do that one. Alright, so we're going to come in with this one now. And this one's really quite easy. So again, I've got the stripe, and it's just half a sheet of card cut in half, and then if you're doing imperial, take a 1/4 inch off each layer, and just take a 1/4 inch off. And if you're doing metric, it's half a centimetre. Alright, so I'll stick this to the front of the card. This one's really quick once you've got your pieces die cut. And I did all my die cutting at the same time, just to save time. So what I've done is I've stamped the sentiment, and then I've used a scallop layering circle and worked out what size fits best. So I decided on that one. And then these ones are the 2 smallest. So next smallest of the stitched framelit dies. I always have trouble saying all that. So what I did with this was I just laid these circles down like this, and then put this on there, and thought, yep, that looks all right. So I've lifted this up, then I've come back in with my glue, and I've added a bit of glue here and a bit of glue here. Might just move that out a bit. And then I've stuck that down there. Now, while that's drying, we're going to make another one of these. So just get a length, cut it off. I always work off the roll because you can actually probably save linen thread and ribbon by working off the roll. You only cut off sort of what you need unless you're doing something like this. So, sorry, I'll do that again. So I've cut off a length, folded it in half, and then folded it in half again, and then leave this end that's got your cut bits, and around the loopy end. Just fold it around your finger like that and through the loop. And there it is. And you can pull it as tight or leave it loose, whatever you like. And then just come in and neaten up the ends. And you've got your knotted linen thread. And then we're just going to add a glue dot. And this time I'll show you another trick. Come in with your paper piercing tool, leave your glue dot on your roll and just twist around. And then we're going to add that to the back like that. Helps if you've got a bit of a fingernail. Keep the glue dot on there. And then I'm going to add it to the circle like that. Alright, so there's that bit done. Alright, I'm just going to turn this over and add some dimensionals. And then that card's done. So I actually put dimensionals right across. And then here and here as well on the other side. Now I know it's not Father's Day yet and anywhere in the world, but I thought you'd like to see this suite. It's really lovely, and the tag you can use not just for this sentiment but for other cards as well, and I'll bring you some more ideas using the tag at another stage, and then you just adhere that and your card's done. So 3 down, 1 to go. Alright, this last one is the one that probably took the most time because I didn't have a die cut frame. So I'll talk to you about the individual pieces as we go. This one is a landscape card. So we're going to actually use the bow tie side first. And again, all of these are just adhered straight to the front of the card. Alright, then you just add your adhesive to the back of the card. And as I said, it's landscape. This is just a square cut out. I did cut it out with the layering squares. So tranquil tight square. And I decided to put it on the bottom. So I had it straight. Then this one's cut out with the stitch shape framelit dies. And I decided it would go sort of here. This one's cut out just with the layering framelit dies. And it goes sort of about there. And then this one actually goes over the top of this, but under this. So you just... This is 2 of the scallop framelit dies nested, and I just cut it out, and I've kept the square for another card sometime. And then this one just goes over there, sort of like that. So then I came in with my glue dots and my trusty paper piercing tool. And because I quite like that placement, I just lifted up the frame, popped a glue dot behind it. So I just lifted up each piece as I went and popped a glue dot behind it. So that one's actually gone on the frame because I don't want to stick this element down just yet in case I want to move it. So another glue dot. What haven't we stuck? We haven't stuck the blue square. So just lift that up, stick that down. Alright, then I think it's all stuck down pretty much. I'll do one more glue dot and I'll turn this around like this and lift this up and pop that down. So that's that element, and then all I do is lift it up and pop some liquid adhesive on the back. Do it all over so you know it's going to be well adhered. Make sure each element gets a piece of it, a bit of it. Alright, and pop that down like that. So that's that. We'll leave that to dry. Now this is again the sentiment cut out with a layering stitch shaped framelit die, and I've just stamped the sentiment, popped a framelit on until I got the right size. So we'll just adhere that to a scallop layering square, which I did the same with. Sort of popped the sentiment down and then decided which square fit best. So you don't have to measure everything. You can just stamp and then cut everything out at the same time, dimensionals. And then I'm just going, when my buttons arrive, I'm just going to add a few buttons and a bit more linen thread, but you'll be able to see completed photos on my blog. I just wanted to come in and show you how quickly you could actually make a number of cards and what you could do with this suite. All right, then I'm just going to pop the sentiment about there and it's done. So there's 8 cards that we've done. There's those 2, that one, and those 2. So they're the 8 cards we've done, and then these are the 2 extra samples that I did. So we've used the tailored tag punch and the truly tailored stamp set, which come as a bundle for 10% off in the Occasions catalogue, and the True Gentleman Designer Series paper, all available in the Occasions catalogue. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed those cards we did today, and that you pop back again soon to see what else I have in this suite of 5-day series. Okay, thanks for stopping by today. Bye for now. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll find inspiration.